One man, two life-altering convictions, but is he a monster or a victim of corruption? Today, we dive into the mind-bending twists of the Stephen Avery case. Could Stephen Avery be innocent not once, but twice? Was he framed for the murder of Teresa Halbach, or did justice finally catch up to him? Stick around as we reveal the disturbing details of a case that has the world asking, what's the truth? In 1985, Stephen Avery was sentenced to 32 years in prison for the brutal sexual assault of a woman on a Lake Michigan beach. Despite his claims of innocence, he had no way out until DNA evidence cleared his name in 2003 after 18 years behind bars. Wrongfully convicted, an innocent man finally free, but his battle with the law was far from over. Just 2 years later, a much darker accusation would turn his world upside down again. In 2005, Teresa Halbach, a 25-year-old photographer, went missing after visiting the Avery salvage yard to photograph vehicles for a local magazine. Days later, her burned remains were found on the property, and Stephen Avery became the prime suspect. But here's where it gets strange. Avery had just filed a $36 million lawsuit against Manitowoc County for his wrongful imprisonment. Was it just a coincidence that he was suddenly charged with a horrific crime, or was there more at play? Evidence seemed to stack up against Avery. Blood from Avery was found inside Teresa's car, but Avery's defense claimed the blood was planted by police, an attempt to cover up mistakes from his previous case. Could local law enforcement have framed him to avoid a massive payout? And then there's Brendan Dassey, Avery's 16-year-old nephew, who gave a chilling confession to help him with the murder. But his confession was filled with contradictions, and many believe it was coerced. Was Brendan just a pawn in this twisted legal game? In 2007, Stephen Avery was convicted of the murder of Teresa Halbach and sentenced to life in prison. But his supporters argue that crucial evidence was mishandled, and his defense team claims that several key pieces of evidence were planted. Meanwhile, Brendan Dassey's confession led to his own life sentence, despite many calling it one of the most questionable confessions in recent history. The Netflix documentary Making a Murderer brought international attention to the case, sparking debates about the justice system. Could there have been a cover-up, or were both Avery and Dassey guilty all along? Years later, Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey remain behind bars, but new appeals and evidence continue to surface, keeping the case alive in the public eye. Supporters argue Avery is the victim of a corrupt system, while others believe he is right where he belongs. What do you think? Was Avery framed by the very people who wrongly convicted him the first time, or is he truly guilty of the terrible crime? Let me know in the comment. And if you're intrigued by cases like this, make sure to subscribe for more true crime stories that will leave you questioning everything. Until next time.